Hi guys, I'm here with John Hill from the Web Warriors, and we were having a recent discussion about how to measure the success of your website. And we've fortunately done quite a lot of projects together and built a lot of very successful websites. And the one thing that we seem to have found to be the culminating factor is that when we approach a website development, we always focus on the outcome first, and then we work back from there. And that way we achieve a goal that really targets where the business wants to go and what the business wants to achieve.
Yeah, I think it's probably something that differentiates an entry-level website versus a professional website. An entry-level, you can get away with getting a template, putting in a couple of pretty photos and some text and go, hey, we've got a website, versus a tool that's going to help support the business grow. And as you said, Bernard, like we'll sit down as part of a website where a budget is a few $1,000s. People are always like, why is there so much to build a website? But part of this is having it support the business. And anything within a business, it takes planning, and there's got to be outcomes, there's some return for the company. So we do actually sit with the business and we sit there and say, well, what do you want this website to do? Even if it's something as simple as it's a tool for our referral partners to confirm what we do, like Benchmark is a great example. Full of testimonials, great videos. They probably won't get a huge amount of calls from it, but they'll have a lot of referrals going to that website to go, oh, these guys rock.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at the success of a website, there's a few elements of data that we look at. So we have what we call Google Analytics sitting on top of the site that gathers all the data, and then we jump in and look at the data versus where we want the website to be. So a typical example for a business would be that people are actually looking at the site, they're following a predetermined sales path, whether that be calling on the phone or signing up for a nurture email sequence or something. And just confirming that people are actually interested in the website. So typical data we'll look at in Google Analytics is something called a bounce rate. So we'll look at something like, you've probably done this before, where you've got onto Google, you've searched, you've found the page, you clicked it, you looked at it and just gone, nah, that's not for me, and you've gone straight back out. That's called a bounce. And if a website has a really high bounce rate, that tells the business that something's wrong with the website. Either they're sending the wrong people to the website, like if I sent a whole bunch of fruit growers to a heavily IT website, most of them probably just going to go, it's not for me. Yeah, it's not for me. Yeah. I want a fruit website. So you've got to confirm you're sending the right traffic, and also you've got to confirm once they get there, does the website look right? Does it load fast? And does it have the right words there as well?
Yes, and that was something that came out for me as well, is that it all weaves together. It's not one piece, and then that just makes everything correct. It needs to be the layout, the look, the branding, the content, the copywriting, the build behind it. Everything needs to be positioned correctly in order for the site to be as effective as possible and to lead that customer through the proper journey. And that's where you're going to see that ROI for the business, where you're going to see that return.
Yeah, and I think something that feeds into that is having a chat to your sales team, like, are they getting better leads? Because your website can actually be a filtering process as well. So if you have certain words or certain imagery that you want to gather a particular type of client, ideally the sales team's like, wow, whatever's happening in business, we're getting such better leads now. That's probably for another video. So the second big thing we'll look at, measure, is the path that people go through your website. So in Google Analytics, you can actually predefine a path. So a typical path might be someone goes to the homepage, then go to a particular service, and then they probably go to a pricing page. They probably go to a contact us page, and then the contact us, once they filled out their form, probably goes to a thanks for contacting us, we'll get back to the page. So there's a particular flow through the website. So you can actually set up Google Analytics to have that as a predefined path.
Yeah.
And Google Analytics will give you data back to say what percentage of people follow that path. If you're finding that from a particular source that that a lot of people are following that path, that could be a little green light to go, do you know what, let's pour more money into that marketing source, because we know we're getting some really awesome leads off that source.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could map the journey there. I know you can look at behavioral flows, so seeing where people go from one page to the next, but you can actually get Google to track predefined journey. Wow, it's really interesting. Yeah, well, obviously some value for all of us, including me in this video. So hopefully you've got a takeaway that will add some value when you're looking at either building your first website or creating a new website. And we'll put some links towards Google Analytics, which is a free service that you can plug into any website that you're running right now. And it's a great way to start to get a gauge on what's happening with your website, even not for yourself, but for a web developer or an SEO person that you're going to be passing a project onto. Like if you're intending to update your website, let's say in 6 months' time, and you don't have Google Analytics tracking right now, it's the perfect time. Because then we can actually take that information and know what works best and what isn't quite working on the site. So when we go to launch the next one, we can make it even more effective.
Yeah, perfect point. Yeah, there's been times where we've been called in and we're like, where's your website at? And they haven't had any data, and we're running blind too.
Yeah.
So if you've got 6 months worth of data, at least we can dive in and say, this part of the site's suffering, let's focus on that.
Yeah. Cool. Well guys, as I said, hopefully you got something valuable out of this, and we've got more videos to come, so stay tuned for what's coming up.
Thank you.